Hideo Kojima came out saying that Keanu Reeves could have been in Death Stranding, but that he really wanted
Mads Mikkelsen.
Mikkelsen, yeah. And I thought to myself, I'm like,
it wasn't him though specifically.
no, I know.
It was his creative team's like, we want Keanu Reeves
Right.
to play the villain. But thinking about that on the outside, when you see Mads Mikkelsen flying around
Yeah.
in the trailers,
Yeah.
if you could imagine Keanu Reeves replacing Mads Mikkelsen.
Well, see, I don't know because I feel like
As
Mads
an
Mikkelsen
edgy
is like
character.
such a
appearance.
he makes an
Distinct,
appearance when he
he's
walks in the room,
distinct,
right? So I started thinking like, well, he's gonna be in Cyberpunk 2077,
Yeah.
and he's been like hitting movies and TV shows left and right, right? Are we having a return of Keanu? Is he coming back?
Keanu has been alive, I think, since like 1763. So I think he's made. Toyota has developed robots.
Not Tokyo.
Not Tokyo,
Yeah.
as someone wrote in the copy this morning.
Yes.
Toyota has developed robots for the 2020 Olympics. In preparation,
It's Summer Olympics, right?
Summer Olympics.
Summer
yes.
Olympics.
Sorry.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Winter is Korea.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, in preparation for the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo, Toyota will provide a series of robots to help out with the games. These field support robots will carry javelins and retrieve javelins, shot puts that are thrown, and other items thrown by athletes.
I haven't seen the video yet. They're really cute.
The robots, named Mirai Towa, which I think is like future something, and Someiti, which means something else, which is Japanese, as you can see on the screen behind me. Cute little mascots will greet the guests. These robots are fitted with facial recognition software, and they will identify humans and respond to who they see with a variety of cute expressions.
This is cool.
I think it's pretty cool.
That's really
They're also
cool.
cute as hell, so like
Yeah.
it kind of helps.
Also, leave it to Japan to make a bunch of robots
For the
Olympics,
yeah.
right? Which I had a comment. I actually had an interesting comment and like a thought. Sorry, when we were doing the copy stuff, right? And I'm like, Japan is the first country to put robots in the world competition to find which the best human is. I just thought it was a weird, like a clash.
parallel,
yeah,
yeah.
it was like a weird clash of like human and robots. But hey, listen, it looks really, really cool.
So those are the mascot names, but the actual robots, the serial numbers and names for them are
Yeah.
THR3. They have humanoid bodies. They are designed to display the action of the Olympics to the people on the streets of Tokyo. These robots will be able to produce audio and visuals from the games, so you can watch them with the robots.
Nice.
And they'll be able to talk to people and athletes and give them high fives using forced feedback technology.
Oh, I'm so into. Do you think it's worth paying a trip to Japan to get high-fived by a robot?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that
If
sounds dope.
you happen to be like exploring the games, doing your own thing, and you need to see the game while you're not actually there, T-TR1 robots will move around and display the different games that are happening, so you can see them on these other types of robots that are showing the games moving around.
Yeah.
And they also have delivery support robots and human support robots
Okay.
that will be able to guide attendees to different events that they need to go to and serve drinks. On the 22nd,
Yeah.
Blizzard unveiled their new character, Sigma, is a scientist who is psychologically damaged after an accident relating to what happened to a miniature black hole in his animated trailer, which you can see probably behind me, if it is behind me. The character is a tank character, so you're able to control gravity for projectiles and release experimental barriers, which allow him to deploy barriers in different angles and directions
Okay.
across the map against other players,
So
assuming that it blocks their way.
I'm Overwatch illiterate. I've never played the game. I've seen Apollo play it, but like from a distance, can you? The fuck is this?
It's gonna. You have your tracers and your
Yeah, but I don't
Lucio's
like.
running around, teleporting. Maybe these barriers will stop them from getting past you.
Does every Overwatch character have like a huge background?
Oh, they have a huge backstory, each character, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like if you imagine like TF2 back in the day, where each like meet the pyro kind of thing, meet the sniper.
Yeah.
They have a similar, but their actual stories are fleshed out.
Okay.
This is just here's the dude. The character is playable as of July 23rd, which is yesterday, but only on the player test region servers. So you can't actually play it in the game, but
Right.
you can look at gameplay and kind of see what's up with this new character. If you're excited for barriers and black holes.
From July 26th to July 28th, there's going to be the Fortnite World Cup.
Sorry. That wasn't a laugh. That was
No, that's fine if it was a laugh. They were going to have the Fortnite World Cup between July 26th and July 28th. I won't repeat the dates again, so if you're interested, keep it in your calendar, because I sure as hell am not. But Epic has announced that they will make it possible for Fortnite players to watch the live stream of any tournaments, any community games, any interviews, any pre-game analysis while you play Fortnite. So Epic has the intention to deliver a picture-in-picture experience to make sure that nobody misses anything that's going on the Fortnite World Cup. And I have a quote here that says, "The first step towards fully building out the in-game streaming experience." I think this is it. I think we're done. I don't think we need anything else.
I can watch Fortnite while playing Fortnite while living Fortnite.
You can be
I am
Fortnite.
I am Fortnite. Call of Duty
Call of Duty.
has announced that they have a new weapon customization system in the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare
Yeah.
reboot that's coming up this fall. The type of customization is called Gunsmith. Basically, you have the option to pick a gun. Let's say you have a classic American, good old school AR-15 M4 platform gun. You have 9 options to customize the gun, ranging from muzzle attachments, lasers, optics, stocks, rear grips, so like the one you grab with this hand, magazines, underbarrels, barrels, and perks that you can attach to these guns. In order to balance all this customization, you can only pick 5 at once. So let's say I want a M4 for close quarters. I can only attach a short barrel and, I don't know, a suppressor and then like a close quarters sight to maximize its usefulness in that field. But if I want to have a sniper rifle, I have to put a long-range scope, long-range barrel, a bipod, all these kind of long-range stocks to make it useful for that part. To not make a long-range, overpowered SMG that'll kill everyone in 2 seconds, it's not really fair, which is why I think they're limiting the amount of customization you can actually do in this game.
So they're pretty much telling us, hey, you're gonna be able to do all of this, but hopefully the game's not broken. Like hopefully it's balanced.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've had. Sorry, it's not new to have customization in Call of Duty.
Right.
They've had skins for a long, long time.
And I mean,
in their most recent,
you've been able to put like red dots and extended mags.
In their most recent games, they had like faster fire rate, all these kinds of things. They don't really make the game guns too OP. But the thing to take note with a game where you have full customization is you can make specific builds to maximize a certain stat. So I think this feature is to let players do that, but not to the point where the guns become overpowered.
Origin PC, back in 2013, I could be wrong on this, created one of their biggest monstrosity called the Big O, where they put an Xbox 360 into a PC case and being able to run both at the same time. And they would be able to play off one another. It was pretty much all the software and hardware of both PC and Xbox 360 put together and just one big gaming machine.
I think the key to have that as well, though, it's not just like a PC with an Xbox stacked on top. They dissected.
No, it's not. Xbox. It's not. It wasn't 2 separate consoles. They literally cut open one, cut open the other, and smashed them together like really quacky surgery. But Origin thought to himself, "Hey, we're better than that. Let's see what else we can do." And so they decided to put an Xbox One X, a PS4, a Nintendo Switch, and a high gaming PC all in the same box.
Why not?
Do we have it?
And
it looks amazing. It's like a gamer's wet dream. It's awesome.
Speaking of Xi Jinping, China has increased pressures on companies to conform to their rules.
Yes.
Over the past few weeks, we've been talking about kind of China's stance on many things and how they want people to conform to them, ignoring all the stuff happening in the world right now and all the things they're doing. But there are new video game regulations, like stuff revolving around violence in games, no blood, all those things over the past few months. Companies such as Tencent have been put under pressure from the Chinese government to curb video game addiction this time. So this time it isn't blood, it isn't, what was it before last? Like sex, I think, and marriage.
It was sex, violence, and gambling.
Couldn't date, couldn't have marriage in games, this time it's addiction for the gamers themselves. And they're imposing restrictions on how long gamers can actually play games for.
FIFA loot boxes aren't considering gambling, according to UK Gambling Commission. So UK Gambling Commission has been under a little bit of heat in the past month or so, I'd say, because they've been going to the Parliament, UK Parliament, like 3 or 4 times now, to represent the issue of gambling.
With EA, Epic was also
with
there.
EA and Epic and just the video game
Surprise
genre in
mechanics.
general. I know, right? So, they, after all these meetings at Parliament, after all meeting with the video game companies, they've got together and decided that FIFA's loot boxes and the purchase of player packs was not a form of gambling. So, here are the rule why they don't consider it gambling. There's no official way to monetize what is inside the loot boxes. So once you got the loot box, you pretty much keep it for yourself, no matter the effective randomness of that loot box. So because you made a purchase and you get a product, no matter how many times, how randomized it is, or how many times you want to buy those loot box to get a specific item, it's still considered just you buying a product. So they don't consider it to be gambling. However, should you be able to make money or gain value from this particular pack, then it would be considered gambling. So let's say I were to buy a loot box and I get a specific jersey for whatever team, right? If I were to sell that jersey to somebody else, that would be considered gambling because I could potentially sell it for a higher price than it has already been given to me or that I have already purchased by. But because that item of randomization from the loot box acts upon the product that you receive and then sell, they consider it gambling.
Grand Theft Auto and Rockstar Games pulled out the big penis and said, hey,
And laid it on the
laid it
table.
on the table and said, hey,
Oh.
we're adding gambling to our game. And now they did. It came out yesterday.
Yeah.
The Diamond Casino and Resort is the newest DLC for Grand Theft Auto Online. You can customize casino where you could spend in-game money or real money to play roulette, blackjack, poker, slots,
And your favorite?
and my favorite, betting on horse races.
Virtual horse race.
Virtual horse races. You can also buy penthouse suites at the casino to live in.
Yeah.
You can buy new clothes, tattoos, and custom vehicles. Like most DLCs recently, it also adds co-op mission storyline, which I believe this time it's one of the characters from the main game, like a Chinese dude that you meet in like Trevor's area,
Okay.
in like the middle of the desert. You have to help him fight off, I think, angry Texans from taking over your casino. I think is the plot of this DLC.
Okay.
If you are wild enough to buy everything in the DLC at once,
How much? Wait. Yeah.
with real money,
No.
with
I want.
using shark
I want to
cards.
hear. I want to hear the fake money first. I want to hear how much it's cost. How much it would cost
Yeah.
in Grand Theft Auto.
Okay, if you bought everything, Twitter user Unknown Modder discovered how much it would cost. It would run $63,548.
Yep.
Sorry, $548,081.
Okay.
So about $64 million,
Okay.
$63 million of in-game money. And if you use the $20 shark card, which is the most common form of currency in the game, which most people
Right.
buy, that would cost you around $1,000. If you
So-
bought the bigger shark cards, it
Right.
would be less. But
So you were
yeah.
telling me earlier that like 60. I think it capped at like $1 is equal to like 62,000
in-game money.
in-game money.
Yeah.
After 4 years of being on the platform, Cortana is leaving the Xbox One experience. So Microsoft is is in the process of redesigning their Xbox One dashboard to make sure that it's going to be an easy player experience, where they call a streamlined user interface, which is supposed to be putting the Xbox Game Pass, the Mixer service, the Xbox Community feature, and the Microsoft Store at the forefront of the dashboard, all the while making sure that it just is easier to navigate and that it's easier for you to get to your games and any other content that you've purchased. In doing so, Microsoft is going to get rid of their voice assistant Cortana, who has been on the platform since 2015. She, at first, when the Xbox came out, the Xbox Ones came out, you could buy the Kinect, the adaptability to the Kinect, so that the Kinect could do all your voice command, and they changed a lot since then. But when they put Cortana on, she pretty much turned the Kinect into a glorious Siri for the Xbox, if you will. But she is no longer going to be available. Now, that being said, it was pretty fucking annoying to start talking to Cortana while you're watching a show when she couldn't understand anything, and then you would stop watching the show to have an on-war battle with a voice assistant that couldn't hear you but thought she did and showed you a bunch of pictures of like dogs and cats and gross stuff that you didn't really ask for but you got curious about, and I feel like this is going for too long. So Cortana has also been removed from the Windows 10 experience in the May update that they changed. But Microsoft has said that she will remain as a separate app on the Microsoft Store. So if you wish to download Cortana after she's gone from the Xbox or any other platform that Microsoft owns, you can go and download the app.
Speaking of leaving, if you would like to leave this capitalist society and journey to the jungles of South America to participate in a socialist cult, this might be the game for you.
I'm so happy.
The Church in the Darkness releases next Friday on August 2nd.
Yep.
It's a indie game in which you too can enjoy the experience of being in a cult, taking part in strange murder ceremonies, and watching as your socialist paradise falls victims to autocratic leaders as well.
Are they going to make us drink the Kool-Aid?
They could.
They could, right?
It's very Jonestown. Speaking of Jonestown,
that was the worst segue in history.
It's not.
Speaking of Jonestown.
It's not. So Jonestown took place in the 1970s, right?
Yes.
This game
was 70s, 80s,
1978, yeah.
Yeah.
This game also takes place in the 1970s in South America,
Okay.
like Jonestown.
Yep.
Has a similar shitty built structure of houses similar to Jonestown.
Yep.
And Church in the Darkness, for those of you that don't know, it's a top-down investigative stealth action game, exploration game, where the player is tasked with uncovering the truth about what's happening within this cult to save your nephew who's joined this cult. You are from America, as you would be.
Yep.
You are a ex-police officer. You're infiltrating this cult to bring him out, and you have to be kind of stealthy because if you are suspicious or make bad decisions that kind of reveal who you are, they gonna kill you, probably. It gives off parallels to that Jonestown event.
Yep.
We don't know if there's Kool-Aid, but the devs said you can choose the ending of this game, of which there are multiple.
Okay.
You could end in ways like killing everyone. That could be with Kool-Aid, we don't know. It could be with escaping with your nephew, or it could be you join the cult, or maybe you even leave the cult. Because this game is also randomized. The story and the characters that you interact with are randomized each time. I don't think the leaders I believe are the same each time.
Yeah, like the core story is there, but it's like a big tree,
But the events
right?
that happen within the game change every time you play through. So it does have a bit of a replayability if that's something that you're into.
Rainbow Six Siege missing a colorblind mode within its game. So Rainbow Six Siege is about to be 4 years old, and at this point, a lot of fans of the franchise are still unhappy about the fact that there's no colorblind mode in the actual game. Ubisoft has stayed somewhat quiet about the issue until about 3 weeks ago, where they broke that silence by replying to a Reddit post made by a concerned player saying that they were aware of the issue but had no plan to fix it, but that it was going to be something they're going to look into in the future. So the reason that this is important is threefold. First of all, out of the gaming community, I don't have the exact stat for it, but the rough number that I've saw was about 250,000 gamers around the world that are affected by colorblindness. And there's 3 different types of colorblindness, which I can't pronounce, so I will go to my Brian dictionary.
Pronounce them for you? Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Protanopia.
What is it?
Protanopia?
Yeah, so what he just mentioned is to be unable to perceive red light, which means that red and greens look murky and blues and yellows are standing out. Give me a second one.
Deuteranopia.
Which means that you're unable to see green light, which means that red and green are looking a bit murky and blues and yellows stand out. And the last one,
Tritanopia.
which means that you're unable to perceive blue light, which is resulting in greens looking murky and red appearing as pink, and blue is appearing as very, very hard, dark blue in a way. So the reason that this is important is that most AAA games since the early 2010s have been offering a colorblind mode to their games. We're talking about Overwatch, Battlefield, COD, like big AAA games. Even Ubisoft games such as For Honor have this kind of mode into it. And the Division 2 has it too. And it's been helping colorblind individuals actually enjoy this form of entertainment, right? Which is great because Ubisoft has mentioned in their terms and conditions and in terms and services that they were going to allow a discrimination-free experience.
That they wrote a whole thing on that.
Yeah, they wrote an entire interview with 3 high executives within Ubisoft, Paris, Montreal, and I think it was Paris, Montreal, and another Ubisoft franchise. That they're doing subtitles, they're doing actual caption making, they're getting everything they can to help their consumers be able to consume the game to the best of their ability, right? I don't know why they don't do it in Rainbow Six Siege, which is pissing off a lot of people, and after learning about it, I'm pretty pissed off too.
Even the devil puts these filters in their game.
Even the devil puts the filters in the game.
Electronic Arts.
EA, we're talking about you now. Another reason why it's really important to have it into actual Rainbow Six Siege is the fact that there's 48 different characters that you can play with. And all these characters have special abilities, and all these special abilities are color-based in order to differentiate one from another. So I don't know why this particular game doesn't have it, because it's clearly popular. It's made it to tournament levels, it's made it to big esports genre of game, right? And if it's part for Ubisoft, where other titles within Ubisoft have it, I don't know why. It doesn't cost, from the research that we've done, it barely costs any money to actually offer that game mode. I don't know how to explain. This might be the coolest headline we've had on the show so far. This might be the scariest headline we've had in the show so far. And there's so much about it that I don't think I can talk about it.
I think it's been a pattern. You guys have probably noticed, those that watch every week.
Yeah.
We've been kind of having robot stories at the end of our shows every week, and slowly we've been developing this kind of robots taking over the world vibe.
Yeah, Skynet being real.
Skynet being real. Perhaps it could change where Skynet now takes over our bodies.
Yeah, so we have our own Matt the intern.
Who loves the robot stuff.
Who loves the robot stuff, and he comes up with all the technology stuff that you guys see on the show. We've had him come up on stage next to us to talk to you about
Elon Musk
and the future.
And Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah. So, Matt.
Yeah, it's one of these technological advancements that people will look back on, kind of like the invention of the airplane or the internet, things like that. But yeah, we're talking about Neuralink, and Neuralink is this new device that Elon Musk has been developing for the last little while, but he's finally broken out to the world and told them about this technology. But basically what it is it's this device that gets inserted into your brain that...
Into your brain. Inside your brain.
Into your brain.
Inside your brain,
yes. They're just gonna sit me on an operating table and just dig into my brain.
Well, not quite. They have, because they say that they need precise extreme accuracy, so they have to use robots.
Okay.
So robots will there's these little suction cup looking thingies that just pierce your brain with these. The specific name is a neurosurgical robot they'll be using to insert flexible electrode threads into the brain, many of these. To be inserted into the brain to pick up different signals and whatnot. So
okay,
it's pretty crazy stuff. And the potential applications of this technology are pretty much unknown at this point. Just like how with the internet, it was pretty unknown, right? When we first started with the internet, you don't really know what that technology will become, but I can't see
Is that
the photos
size,
exactly.
like a penny size?
Yeah, well, that's the
God.
actual chip itself. I can't really see from here because of the camera.
It looks like there's a chip and then a penny beside it.
Yeah. So that's how small it is. That's for scale. But each of these little threads that get inserted into your brain, they're 1/10 the size of a human hair, which is really, really crazy. So 1/10. That's why they need a robot to do it, and they need a robot to insert it, is because it's so small.
It looks like the thing from the Matrix.
It does look like
Yeah.
the
It
Matrix.
looks like the
I'm
thing from the
legit
Matrix.
scared.
It's gonna
I'm
go-
fucking scared.
It's gonna go
shitless
inside
of
my
this now.
body.
Yeah, well, that's the robot. But I got a couple quotes, and I think this is where the technology is headed. Because right now, at first, they're going to be implementing this technology with people that they have limited mobility or various disabilities. So let's say you were a quadriplegic. You could have this technology then be used to operate your phone by using your brain, essentially, or a laptop by using your brain.
This phone sync is, right?
Yeah, well,
That's fucking insane.
that's actually to monitor a lot of the stuff through the phone. It'll be transmitted through Bluetooth to your phone. So all this data, which actually brings up a lot of data privacy concerns, things like that. It's like,
Of your brain, yeah.
yeah, it's like who has access to this data, who gets to control it, how safe is it? I mean, you hear this all the time with Bluetooth hacking of various devices. You don't want people to hack your brain. So
Oh my God.
we gotta make sure that it's safe, and they have stuff in place to make sure that it's safe and secure. But once again, I mean, everybody with this kind of a new technology, you should be worried because. I would be worried.
I love how our own Matt the intern's like, hey, this is cool. Be worried.
Yeah,
Kimbot mentioned it. It sits outside your body, right?
yeah.
What if someone like grabbed it and like ripped it out of your?
Why? Why?
I'm not too sure.
I know, but don't bring it up. I don't want fucking fibers to come out of my brain.
mentioned it in chat.
I mean, then you just become a regular human again, and then just have to just have to connect it back together. But this is a quote from Elon Musk, and I watched the whole news conference twice because this is groundbreaking. Like this could change the whole evolution of humanity and what we think of intelligence and human intelligence. So according to Musk, this could lead to superhuman intelligence via the ability to merge biological and digital intelligence in one. So right now we just have like the basic premise of like yeah. Well, it's pretty crazy stuff because like essentially eventually it'll be able to send and transmit data. So whatever's on the internet, whatever you learn, whatever you see, you'll be able to pull that up immediately with this device. So it's essentially putting Google right into your brain, or some sort of artificial intelligence device right into your brain. So
that's actually how you start being a Spartan from Halo.
Yeah.
That's how it starts.
Yeah. But yeah, so this technology is quite new, quite unknown. However, there's a lot that can be done.
This is a prototype, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Have they started human trials?
So the first human trial is set to be done in 2020.
Holy that's like fucking 6 months.
Yeah. So I'm assuming it's going to be people that need this technology to better their lives in the first place. So if there is something that goes wrong, because maybe it's like it's worth the risk for them.
Yeah.
But in the future, they're bringing this device to the general public to enhance our cognitive abilities, essentially.
Oh my! Matt, have you ever watched the movie Gamer?
No.
So in the movie Gamer, they have this weird. It's not a great movie, but the idea behind it's kind of cool. Where you're in a weird full VR room, right? And you're sitting in the middle, and you actually you're controlling with like the headset and like things on your head. You're actually controlling like a Call of Duty player, right? And you're shooting everything, and it looks super realistic. And then later in the movie, you realize that prisoners have a chip in their brain that lets players of that video game control them, and if they win enough, if they can control the players through their brain, and then they're actually killing one another for the sake of the game.
Crazy.
Well, I was thinking was a bit different. I was thinking like, let's say I'm playing an RPG.
Yeah.
I don't know, MMO or like a shooter, and you have the Neuralink right here, right? Where you mind control stuff. You could sync like a VR helmet, kind of like Sword Art Online style or like something else, put it on your head and just like play.
Oh God.
That'd be crazy.
So I went to the extreme with this, but yeah, you're right. That would be probably the next step for video games.
Yeah.
Holy
and then they'll
shit.
pick up the brains, put the Neuralinks on it, and put them in like saline baths, like in Futurama or other shows.
Yeah.
I'll make like a supercomputer with human brains.
Yeah. Holy. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, is there?
There's one more thing.
There's one more thing.
One
Okay.
more thing, okay.
Because and this kind of explains kind of the gravity of how complex this thing actually is. So each of these little minute little hair things that gets inserted into your brain is like 1/10 the size of a human hair.
Right.
However, they have 3,000 electrodes to measure the electrical impulses of your brain, essentially. So what's being sent in your brain, they have 3,000 little sensor things on that hair thing that goes into your brain that's 1/10 the size of a human hair.